Now today at TFS we are going to talk about a warrior whose name comes from the dark era, an era in which people do really needed hope and support to live with. And the name that actually gave them belief was known as Perak. And today what really we are going to find that a JAWA Perak a really a modern warrior, and can it take up the name of the brand where it really used to be. And with that, let's crank up the engine and check out that what this thing has really to offer.
Now, the brand Java motorcycle is not a new thing because this is the same brand that was famous in its time for making two-stroke machines. And their machines were pretty exciting. Exciting in terms of performance, sound, and the unique character that they used to have. And that was not the only reason in today's time which brought the Java brand back to its base.
The first thing that comes in mind when you look at any JAWA motorcycle is authenticity, and the way they design modern retro motorcycles
Sets a perfect balance between completing the need of modern era and keeping the same heritage in design. And that's how this Java also started its journey. But because they were designing a bobber, they have to chop off many of its rear components. And that was not only done to give her a unique look, but that was also done so that she can shred some of the huge weight figures, which means enhancing performance.
Now talking about performance, this has 31 brake horsepower and 32 Newton meters of torque, cranked by this 335cc of engine. And I know that it is not much more compared to any of the sports or naked motorcycle in this particular segment. But if you will compare with any of the average Royal Enfield, then Java is for sure light years ahead.
Also, just like any other Java, the Perak does get liquid cooling and twin exhaust as standard. And just to make your ride much more smoother and faster, they do provide you a 6-speed constant mesh transmission, and that too with a taller gear ratios, which means you can not only cruise effortlessly on your long highway runs, but you also don't need to change gears again and again in the heavy city traffic. Also, thanks to the ECU mapping that Java has done on this machine, because this machine has almost no lag, and the throttle response on this thing is pretty quick and pretty sharp. And also, it makes you feel like that you are really driving some sort of performance tool and not just a stupid vibrator. Then there are the twin exhaust, which are been bit muttered. But the simple solution to this problem will appear when you will remove the DB rims. And that's the moment when this bike will start showing the real Java character hidden inside it. Now, the Java does provide you dual disc brake with the dual channel ABS, which is again sufficient to stop the bike the moment you want to. Then there is this double Cradle tubular frame, which will split every type of load, weight and vibration happening on both the sides. Also, the bar and mirror will add on more styling to the package. And also, the semi-digital instrument cluster does provide you almost all sufficient information that you might need on the daily basis. However, the only problem is to read the amount of speed between 40 to 120 kilometers per hour.
And also, there is no trip meter, and features like this Java must include in their upcoming motorcycles.
Then there are these hydraulic forks in the front and 7-step adjustable monoshock in the rear, which works pretty good on higher speeds, but not so good on lower speeds. However, they do set a good balance if you want to throw this bike in a corner. But if you are good at the corners, then you might also witness the road scratching few parts of the motorcycle. Also, the ground clearance on this bike is not marginally good, but it is very much sufficient to handle our Indian potholes and bumps. And even if it touches any hard object on the ground, then you just don't need to worry. And that's because this has a protection plates as standard to protect all the important and expensive stuff.
However, there is a big problem, and it is about the build quality of this motorcycle. I mean, I have seen millions of motorcycles in my life, but the build quality of this motorcycle is just not comparable to any of them, and that's a point where JAWA seriously needs to look after.
But still, the way this Java feels, the way it handles, and the way it is styled will literally make you feel very special. And undoubtedly, this is a head turner thing, and certainly you will grab people's attention. So let's get to my final verdict, that for whom the JAWA Perak really is. Now obviously, what you get at almost 2 lakh rupees price tag is a motorcycle which has way far performance compared to any of the motorcycle in the price segment. And also you will get each and every essential feature that you need in your day-to-day life. But what you will not get is a pillion seat. And that's why this bike might not sound practical enough for many of the Indian citizens. But to be honest, that at least doesn't matter to me. Because in my mind, the life is all about practicality. But riding a motorcycle is simply not.
And unless and until we meet next time, make sure you do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Till then, this is TFS signing off. Peace. Love. And also, there is no trip meter. And features like this JAWA must include in their upcoming motorcycles.
And features like this